Hey everybody, it is Jenny and welcome to episode 50. Holy cow, episode 50. That is some exciting shit right there. Seems like a great time to rebrand the show, am I right? So stay tuned because the first week of April, the show is going to have a new name and a new look, but you'll still get the same great content and the same great guest interviews. I'm just making it easier for other multi-passionate creators like you to find it, and I'm gearing it specifically towards those of you who want to design a lifestyle and especially a business around your many passions. So today I'm bringing you another 10-minute tip where we cut straight through the BS to the heart of how you can make money from your creative passion. So in the last 10-minute tip, I talked about starting ugly, taking messy action even when you don't feel ready. And I really do feel like that is a precursor to today's episode in which I want to talk about vetting new ideas. As a multi-passionate, I picture new ideas like ping pong balls flying at your face all the time. And you're sort of constantly batting them away and trying to focus on just one thing at a time, which is so impossibly hard. Am I right? So I think it's important to have a methodology for determining whether or not an idea that comes flying at your face is worth capturing and chasing after, because everything looks alluring, right? So if you want to be a person who finishes things, a person who has a legacy to leave behind, a person who is proud of what they've accomplished in a day, in a week, in a lifetime, you need to know which of those sparkly things are worth chasing after and which need to be backburnered. So I want to drive the point home that this episode isn't meant to be another thing that keeps you from starting. I want you to start tomorrow, today, right this minute. Just do something. But when you have gotten to the point where you're no longer afraid to start, where starting is something that you've become relatively good at, and now you just need to know how to determine which of the many ping pong balls are actually worth it, that's what this episode is for. I teach all about this in the Multi-Passionate Master Plan, which I'm going to be opening the doors to again in May. And I say time and time again in that course that you can do all of the things. You don't have to leave anything behind that you don't want to, but you do have to get really clear on what things are going to give you what you most want in the short term. We do exercises to help you figure out what it is that you most want and what your values are so that you can make aligned decisions. So, for example, if you want financial freedom, concentrating on the one item out of your list of 6,000 sparkly objects that's going to create passive income for you is going to be the most important thing. If you want time freedom so you can be a more present parent for your kids, then starting a business from the ground up with zero know-how might not be the thing that deserves your focus most at this moment. So today's 10-minute tip is meant to give you a high-level framework for vetting ideas when they fly at your face to see if they are worth pursuing, backburnering, or throwing away altogether. Some ideas are simply flashes in the pan, and if you just chill out and sleep on them or run them through this framework, you'll see that you don't really want to go down that rabbit hole after all. So, anytime you're looking at a new idea from the perspective of, should I dive headfirst into this project? Should I chase this shiny object? Should I make this thing? Ask yourself, what is it for? This question asks you to think about the end result and the outcome and the goal of whatever it is that you're trying to do. Think about why. Why would I do this? What will it get me? Does it align with my values? Will it get me what I most want in life? And then go even deeper. Is it worth the time, my energy, and my effort? What is it going to cost me in resources? Think about the trade-offs. What are the upfront costs financially, but also energetically? Do you know how to do all the tasks that this project entails, or will you need to hire people to help? If you don't hire people to help, might you lose hours teaching yourself how to do things? I'm looking at you, all the DIYers out there, which is probably just every multi-passionate person ever. You think, I'm good at things. I can figure this out for myself. And you are good at things, and you can figure it out for yourself. But is it worth it? Will the payoff be worth it? Where's your proof? Also ask yourself, what could go wrong? Not as a means by which to talk yourself out of doing anything ever, but how can you stave off the potential downfalls of doing this thing? What do you need to plan for? And what is a way to test this idea in some small way first? Think like Silicon Valley and figure out what your minimum viable product is. How can you test it and potentially fail fast and save yourself a shit ton of time? Think about, why would someone want to do the action that you're asking them to do? Why would someone want to subscribe to your newsletter? Why would someone want to join your course? Why would they want to hire you as a coach? Really think about aligning incentives and logically reasoning out why someone would want to take the action that you want them to take. I think this is really important for artists and creatives because we are gifted with all of these beautiful ideas and we get so excited about them. And we say to ourselves, I can make this real. I can see in my mind what this is going to be. And I can go and do this right now. But if we start a thing, and we don't know who it's for or what it's for, and if we don't know how to translate those benefits into language that resonates with them, and don't worry, I will do episodes on how to do this, we might end up stuck maintaining something that has just become a time and energy drain. Or we fall victim to the sunk cost fallacy that I'm going to talk about in the next episode, and we don't want to quit because we've invested so much time and money, and we took a damn course on the thing, and we bought the equipment. And the other problem that plagues us just about as deeply as ping pong balls flying at our faces all the time is feeling like terrible failures when we decide we want to quit something and therefore not quitting because we don't want to be that guy who quits things all the time. And it's a pattern, and we've all been there. And this is why I made this episode, so that maybe you can stop putting yourself through that emotional roller coaster. Now, I know it might sound a little boring when a shiny object is dancing in front of you and calling to your attention to have to stop and think rationally, because the dancing object is something that you are reacting to emotionally, and emotional is just a hell of a lot more compelling than rational, to be honest. But if you want to live your multi-passionate life like a boss, systems really are the only way to make that happen. And doing this type of thinking up front actually saves you a bunch of time learning the hard way. Because if you spend a little bit of time to do this work at the beginning, it allows you to put more of your energy and efforts towards projects that have a higher likelihood of succeeding. And those are the ones that you should be taking messy action on. Your peace of mind and time and energy and hell, your bank account are finite resources. So you need to think about allocating those resources very carefully. Think about what is going to give you the biggest payoff and be fun for you to do and help build towards the long term of whatever that goal is that you have made for your future. In the end, you can ask yourself these questions about the projects themselves, but there's an even bigger question to consider. And that is, what is worth the journey? What is worth the work that this will entail? Is your interest only in the end product? Would you still take the journey knowing there could be a risk of no end product? And can you accept that risk? Because ultimately, the true cost of anything is the amount of life that you have to exchange for it. So if you want the downloadable checklist of this framework to run your next big idea through, head on over to jennyo'connor.com/vetit and grab that for free. And thank you for joining me today. If you found this content valuable enough to warrant a tip, you can show your appreciation by visiting buymeacoffee.com/JennyO'Connor. Or I would be over the moon if you would rate and review the show so other multi-passionates like you can find it. And be sure to follow me on Instagram, you guys, at Your Creative Fairy Godmother, because I'm all hopped up on caffeine over there, shouting from the tallest rooftops about the new membership that I'm launching in April, the Achievers Academy, where you can work alongside other multi-passionates to make real progress on your most audacious goals. We will hold each other accountable with weekly check-ins and co-working sessions, monthly live trainings on productivity and time management strategies, hot seat coaching, meet and greets, talent swaps, and prizes for the folks who make the most progress in a quarter. I think that sounds pretty awesome, don't you? So if you've been talking about wanting to do something and you are finally ready to actually do it, find out more and jump on the wait list over at jennyo'connor.com/achievers. Until next time, remember there are 7 days in a week and Sunday isn't one of them. Now get on out there and do the thing.